Hi, today I'm going to do a top 5 Wednesday video. This group was created by Lainey from Ginger Reads Lane. Now I'll link her channel down below, as well as the Goodreads group page, which is now open for everyone. And today's topic is your top 5 non-YA books. Let's get started. Number 5 is the book Myths of the World, which was edited by Tony Allen, and this is basically and this is a book which contains the most popular myths from all the different cultures. If you do not know this about me, I love mythologies and I like to see how different cultures used to think about like the same thing, like why it would rain, for example. Like there's tons of like interesting myths about it, and the different gods that every culture gave to explain the different things that happened around them. And yes, and I found that I really like this book. It has some of the best myths. It gives you a taste of all the different cultures and all the different mythologies. And it doesn't just focus on the popular ones, which are the Egyptian mythology, the Greek mythology, the Roman mythology. It does give you different mythologies that usually don't read as much, like the Indian mythology. The Celtic, though lately the Celtic is getting a bit more popular, I guess you could call it that. Everyone who really likes mythology and wants to get exposed to different mythologies and different cultures, then you should definitely pick this book up, because I really enjoyed it. Also, like at the beginning of each chapter is basically contains a couple of very popular stories from that certain mythology, and before each chapter or each area, there's a bit of an explanation about what happened in that area, who were the rulers, so you get a bit of more back story to see how the myths and how they came into being, and not just the myths, which is something that I also really liked with this book. Number 4 on my list is a book I read not long ago, and that is The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. This book was also released not long ago. This book is about a man, and he goes to a family funeral, and he then goes back to his hometown, the town where he grew up. And as he's going down the street to the place where he used to live, he starts to remember a certain experience in a certain family of people that he knew, very extraordinary, very unusual and strange people, and a certain creature that came into his life when he was a boy that he did not remember. And what I really liked about this book that made me put it in my top 5 non-YA books is that throughout the book there's a kind of comparison of it's the person comparing how he used to think as a child and how he thinks today as a grown man, and I really like that comparison. Book number 3 is Blood and Beauty by Sarah Dunant. It's the first book in the Borges series. I think that she's making a series out of this book. This book follows the different events that happened to the Borges family from the moment that the head of the family, Rodrigo Borges, became Pope. I really did enjoy this book, mostly because with some historical fiction, while reading it, you feel like you're just like reading, you know, a couple of events that happened and what happened in them. But with Blood and Beauty, I really did feel like she made the characters become real for the reader. You really did connect to the family. You really did, you know, root for them and want them to succeed and want them to come on top. And anyone who likes to read about, you know, games of power, I think that you'll really enjoy this book, and I do recommend it. Book number 2 is a book that I've talked a lot on my channel, and that is The Timekeeper by Mitch Albom. This book follows 3 main characters. One who is the first person to ever measure time. The second is a teenage girl, our days, who is having her first crush, and it doesn't turn out so well. And the third main character is a man who found out that he has cancer and that he is about to die, which is not something that makes him very happy and something that he's really trying to fight. This book was so beautiful. It took me literally 40 minutes to finish. It makes you think, it makes you look at things differently, it makes you wonder what would have happened if we haven't started to measure time, because measuring time and time as a whole is something that humanity really does deal with. Like, think about it, nothing would work today the way it did if we could not measure time. So the look at things in this book and the way that Mitch Albom made you think about different things that had to do with time. The story was basically that the person who measured time got punished for it, and to get out of his punishment and to redeem himself, he basically had to help two characters, who are the two characters that I talked about earlier, the man and the girl. It makes you think about things in a totally different way. It makes you wonder and ponder certain questions. And yes, philosophy does play a big part in this book. Another thing that I really liked is that there's extremely short chapters. Like, this is one chapter and then this is one chapter. It made the story move along really quickly, and it also helped with the jumping between the different perspectives. Book number 1 on my non-YA list is another book that I've talked about a lot, and that is The Gospel of Loki by Joanne M. Harris. This book is so good. This book follows Loki. Is it Loki or is it Loki? I keep saying Loki. Please tell me if I'm wrong, and if I am, then correct me in the comments down below. So once I got Loki and Loki out of the way, by the way, beautiful cover. I really like this cover. Anyway, once I got that out of the way, then this book follows the entire Norse mythology completely and utterly from Loki's perspective. This is a book for mythology lovers, and this is a book for Marvel lovers, because the Loki in this book is so similar to the Loki that the Marvel movies made. It was so great reading this book, because it feels like reading the private journal of Loki, like with laughter, with his perspective of things, with like the different stories on. I really did like the plot throughout. Like, it's not something that you usually see with all of the mythologies, but the way that Joanne M. Harris weaved them together and wrote it made such a beautiful plot, because you did not see it coming. Even though I did know like a couple of stories, you do not see it coming. You do not see how the entire story is linked together. And Joanne M. Harris really did link it all together and make it very clear for the reader as he moved on with the book and read the different stories. And I also really like that she did fill in the blanks within the stories, because obviously there's only like key points in like the Norse mythology, and she really did connect like the blanks. And thank you for watching my video. That was my top 5 non-YA book video, which also kind of became a video of me recommending my favorite top non-YA books. Thank you, and I will have another video up for you guys soon. Bye.